Bridesmaids, which sort of helped pave the way for a lot of things that are happening now and going to happen that are huge.
Specifically Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I mean, that was, Kristen Wiig, obviously a lot of people knew her from SNL beforehand, but this was her breaking out and being like, oh man, you can totally lead a movie. This isn't phenomenal.
Well, and she wrote it.
Yeah.
And it painted her in, I think, a lot of different dimensions than we saw on SNL, which was strictly comedy. You know, that character's actually pretty dark in Bridesmaids, and that opened up, I think, her career for a lot of other roles that she's had since then.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting to me. Like, I think that the ability her ability to play those kinds of characters on display here was probably the most important part about Bridesmaids.
Yeah, and Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, who, had sort of almost been on the cusp of stardom for a while, but this gave her, it was such a great role for her. Mm-hmm. She was hysterical in it, sort of stole every scene. Yeah. And turned her into a movie star, very, very, very quickly. Yeah. That was very, in a way, and she's actually kind of a bigger star than Kristen Wiig.
Oh yeah,
out of Bridesmaids, which is crazy.
This was also Paul Feig's.
Feig, I think
Paul
Feig. I think
Kevin Feige, Paul. Feig.
Yeah.
This was him sort of, he had made a name for himself with stuff like Freaks and Geeks and Arrested Development, and this was him like putting his stamp on movies and being like, I can do this now.
Yeah, it was interesting for him because he created Freaks and Geeks and ran it with Apatow, but then Apatow had sort of the more notable career through like the first decade of the 2000s. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was working, he was directing a lot of great TV, Arrested Development, The Office, but Bridesmaids did, with Apatow producing, we should note, it kind of really gave him a new career and revitalized his career in a big way by just showing what he could do as a director of a feature film and having such a huge success with it.
No, absolutely. And while doing a little bit of research on this, I totally forgot I had 2 Academy Award nominations.
Yeah.
Wow,
Original
really?
Screenplay, and Melissa McCarthy got a nomination for Supporting Actress.
Whoa.
I was like, wow, I totally
so
remember
rare
this.
for comedies to get nominated too. Like I remember Kevin Kline for Fish Called Wanda is another rarity. So that's really, no matter what you think, Melissa McCarthy is always going to be one of those people too. I think any sort of extreme comic presence is polarizing, but just getting that nomination is really impressive just because comedy, especially actors in comedies, it's so easy to be overlooked by the person, playing the dying person in the period drama.
Yeah.
So it's really cool
I
she
think
got
it was
noticed.
that Woody Allen film that won that year.
That's
Midnight.
Midnight in Paris. Yeah.
I like that movie.
It is a good movie.
Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, that's a good
Why are we talking about that?
For our last movie, we were talking about Midnight in Paris.
This is going to be the most Midnight in Paris coverage IGN has ever done.